Hello, this is Matt on the Moon Lambo channel. Look at what XRP is doing. I'm going to share with you posts from a few different XRP chart analysts highlighting a specific metric, and there is a strong belief that XRP is gearing up for something massive, bouncing out of these recent lows that we've had by many metrics, actually. There's also a couple other articles that I want to talk to you about a little bit later in the video because I found them fascinating, including this one from the Daily Hodl. Investor Arthur Chong says crypto may be mirroring S&P 500 growth after 2008 collapse. Interesting topic, especially considering what we've seen since coming out of that time period. And then there's also this. Hackers take over Raptor 50 Cent's X account to steal over $3 million in crypto. And it happened really fast. It's like $3 million were stolen in about 30 minutes. Oh, and also here's another fun little fact. So rapper 50 Cent, when he came up with his name a couple decades or so ago, because he's been in the rap game for a hot minute, he actually named himself after the price of XRP, which, as we all know, is 50 cents forever. XRP is a stablecoin, right? That's the recent joke circulating throughout the XRP community anyway. So there you go. Rapper 50 Cent, named after XRP, even though it didn't exist back then. But before going further, I do want to be clear. I do not have a financial background of any kind. I am not offering financial advice, and you definitely should not buy or sell anything because of anything I say or write. I'm just an enthusiast who enjoys making YouTube videos about crypto-related topics, but just as a hobby and just for fun. And so here's a post from chart analyst Crypto Insight UK, and he wrote the following. And this is a market cap XRP dominance percentage chart on your screen, going back from before the 2018 all-time high for XRP, a little shy of $4. And so he wrote, XRP dominance, very interesting. XRP dominance bouncing above all-time lows, then breaking a 210-day downtrend, whilst the weekly RSI starts to come out of the oversold area. So there's a lot of interesting things happen. I see all sorts of analysts acknowledging it looks like XRP is probably getting towards the tail end of Wyckoff accumulation, maybe not yet in the sign of strength phase, but you get a pop-up and probably see that soon. You can look at other metrics like the RSI, Relative Strength Index, popping up from oversold levels he's citing here. At the same time that you're seeing XRP dominance come out of an all-time low of barely over 1%. The confluence of these things, knowing we're in a bull market, it catches my attention. I also find this to be very, very interesting. XRP cannot and will not stay in this price range forever, so what's most probable? When this thing goes a break to the downside or the upside? I'm thinking upside. And by the way, he's not the only analyst that has noticed this particular metric. There are a couple posts from Charting Guy, one after the other. So the other day he posted this, Bitcoin dominance now down 1%. So folks, Bitcoin dominance decreasing at a time when XRP dominance increasing. And this is going back a couple days, even when the collapse, if you will, was occurring, when Bitcoin went down by whatever it was, over $5,000 in a matter of hours, whatever, a couple days ago. And so he was just noting the following at the time, and he said this: with ETH ETF within 1 week or less, and Ripple's XRP lawsuit ending probably soon after, this only adds to my confluence that Bitcoin is losing dominance and alt season is looming. And look, I certainly see the point. It's possible that when Ripple gets what the market would describe as a favorable outcome, it's possible XRP starts running because people get exuberant, but I insist that if they do that, it is irrational behavior because XRP already has market clarity. And some people will bring up, yeah, but what about how Ripple can use XRP? I'm like, no. It's already fine. The worst that happens is status quo, meaning that a stable coin will be used for any ODL corridor touching the United States, but XRP is now and will continue to be used in every other corridor around the world because the United States doesn't have jurisdiction over the legal goings-on in Singapore, for example. And so it's not Ripple located in San Francisco that's controlling all of that. It's a subsidiary, a sister company of Ripple that is actually doing this. So that's going to keep happening. So anybody thinks that if we don't get some sort of good outcome here, that XRP is just screwed for this use case, even for just for Ripple, that's not true. It just isn't true. That's not how this works. That's not how any of this works. The United States doesn't have that kind of control over the rest of the world. So if anything, it would be the status quo, meaning that, again, Tether would continue to be used, or maybe, be more likely Ripple's stablecoin once that's launched, but that would be used instead as the bridge currency only for corridors touching the United States. And if that's the case, okay. XRP is not Ripple. Ripple is not XRP. There's a very vibrant ecosystem with all sorts of developers. It's big, stuff is happening. And even if Ripple ceased to exist, XRP continues to chug along. So I don't have those fears. But again, I acknowledge market could get exuberant. Maybe they don't know these things I just cited, and because they're not sufficiently widely known, people will think that that actually will have something to do with the long-term viability of XRP. Maybe they'll mistakenly think that, and price goes up. But either way, I'm just saying, if that happens, it's stupid. STOOPID, stupid. And then he, by the way, so he posted this also. This is from Charting Guy. Bitcoin dominance continues to drop as alts hold up better than Bitcoin. And this is just the other day. He said down 1.8% now. ETH BTC and XRP BTC look insanely strong. This should not be ignored. And so we do have a new low. We had a new low some weeks ago this cycle for XRP price against Bitcoin, at least on, for instance, Binance. It doesn't show that on every single exchange because the price action on various exchanges is going to be a little bit different. There's different humans buying and selling at different exchanges. It's not going to be 100% the same. But we did see that weeks ago for XRP priced against Bitcoin. And like I keep saying, eventually a bottom is found. So maybe the one then was a few weeks ago, and if it's not, then there will be a new one, and then it'll still move up off the bottom from that. Bottoms are always found, and then along the way, there are people who are toxic Bitcoin maxi trolls. They don't want it to be true that bottoms are found for anything that's not Bitcoin, and so they'll just say, yeah, let's see, it's lower. They'll laugh along the way, haha, it's going to go to zero against Bitcoin. But then the bottom's found. That's what happened in every previous market cycle. Then it just moves to the upside. This will be no different, of course, unless you think that there's going to be this is the end of the market where it's all cratering down. We already saw the all-time high, or maybe if there's a black swan, even okay, and then it all goes down, fine. But outside of that, no, XRP is going to go. And then he also said, oh, this is a separate post. He said, there's a post from June 15th. He said, ETH BTC is one of the best looking charts in crypto right now. And then just the other day he said, so is XRP BTC. Something is brewing. A few things I've been talking about for months. Then there was this from chart analyst Greg Crypto, and he said, XRP dominance epic fall is coming. So just to be clear, the reason he worded it like that is because, yes, this is a market cap XRP dominance percentage chart, but it is inverted. So you can see that zeros towards the top, and then if you're talking about having a higher dominance level, it would be lower on the chart. So he just chose to invert it, and he says, XRP dominance is retesting the ascending channel edge and the fib 0. The rejection will be epic. XRP army stay steady. Only few will trust the process. And so I just noticed in recent days, lots of analysts highlighting this particular metric. It is true, and the confluence of this with other metrics and where we are at in the bull cycle, this should be a cause for optimism, I think it's safe to say. There is also this post from chart analyst Greg Crypto. XRP dominance to equilibrium and fib 1.618. He says this cycle, XRP dominance will retest equilibrium fib 1.618, which is 17.39%. So that's the dominance level, 17.39%. That would be a big old chunk on the market. And he says after that, the gates of Valhalla will be wide open. So stay steady. In 2017, XRP dominance flipped ETH. But this cycle, the world will be shocked when XRP will flip Bitcoin. Only few will trust the process. Okay, so I certainly think that he's making a lot of sense when it comes to way higher dominance. And then it's probably going to be, in terms of that percentage of the market, it's going to be a short-lived thing because after coins go up, it includes XRP, they do go back down. They don't stay at the highs forever. So that dominance percentage, whatever it peaks at, it's going to go down lower. If it goes crazy enough, maybe XRP will flip ETH again. I don't know. As far as XRP flipping Bitcoin this cycle, I would be shocked. So I respectfully disagree on that particular point, but would be happy to be wrong. I would be happy if Greg Crypto is correct and my suspicions are incorrect. That'd be fantastic. But I think there's about a 0% chance, just my personal opinion, it's one guy on the internet, but I think there's about a 0% chance XRP flips Bitcoin this market cycle. And I say that with XRP being my favorite crypto, my largest holding. I've had it, get 6.5 years now. It's where I'm expecting to get a vast amount of my life-changing wealth from crypto. That is what I'm expecting. So understand where I'm coming from when I say that. And I don't know that Bitcoin's going to be number one in market cap forever, but if we're talking about the short term here in particular, I'm not seeing any sort of signs that would be the case. But the good news is it doesn't matter. We don't need Bitcoin to get flipped. That'd be great. Now I'll be cheering with everybody else. I'll be like, hell yeah, this is incredible. Absolutely. But we don't even need that to happen because there's so little money in XRP compared to Bitcoin that it doesn't take much more flowing in to get a crazy multiplier effect. That's why I'm here. That's why you're here, right? So as far as where it ranks in market cap, I don't care. I want the multiplier effect. So it's still, it would still be fun and neat to see that. Don't get me wrong, but I'm not counting on that. I don't think it's going to happen this cycle. But yeah, XRP could be worth way, way, way more in the future. And I think ultimately money is likely to just chase where, there's the most utility, with the caveat that standards matter to humans. And so first mover advantage is a very real thing. And I understand that too. And so maybe that first mover advantage is so important that it does just stay number one in market cap, even though Bitcoin is the least technologically advanced crypto ever created. Maybe it just is number one in market cap just because humans value standards, and there are attributes in Bitcoin that people value very clearly. So maybe that is the case. I don't know. We're just gonna have to wait and see and find out together. In hindsight, people pretend like it's obvious, but living here in 2024, it's not. If you're being intellectually honest, it's not completely obvious that Bitcoin's just going to be number one in market cap forever. All sorts of stuff can happen. Something can come along that's way more useful, and as a result, more money flows into that, and that matters more than the fact that Bitcoin was first. That could happen. I don't pretend to know, but certainly the idea that XRP or any other coin is going to flip Bitcoin at some point in the future, that's reasonable. But I'm just saying, like, if you're talking about this market cycle right now, I'm a little less confident, a lot less confident than that, I'll say. There's also this article from the Daily Hodl. Investor Arthur Chong says crypto may be mirroring S&P 500 growth after 2008 collapse. Here's what he means. And I'm not going to read the article. I'm just going to go straight to what he actually said on social media platform X, which reads as follows. And he's got a big follow, 169,800 followers, so people are listening. He said, nuanced take. Entirely possible the crypto market is maturing and we don't see a complex wild swings with 70 to 80% drawdown every 2 years, but instead a complex secular growth like what S&P 500 went through post 2008 great financial crisis. So I will pause to say here, with each passing market cycle, it is true that you do see less volatility. Now, crypto's still wildly volatile, but it's certainly true. I've pulled up enough charts over the recent months and also over a span of years to show that is indeed the case, which is what you'd expect. But just because that is indeed the case, it doesn't mean that you're not going to continue to see some crazy price tag. Like, this is still the asset class where you truly can, in a relatively short period of time, accumulate life-changing wealth. Like that's still true even today in 2024. And we don't want that volatility to go away. It pretty much will. It's going to be, the volatility in crypto when this asset class is fully mature, it's going to be just as boring to invest in crypto as it is to invest in precious metals. It will be. But we'll get to that point. But we're nowhere near that now. We're so early. We, here in 2024, still have this opportunity. But, if you're thinking that, it's, a lot of altcoins out there. We don't need those things anymore. They're not going to perform the same. Well, I don't agree with that, actually. Now, most aren't going to hit a new all-time high, but let me read a little bit further first. He says, excluding the COVID-19 crash of 2020, U.S. stock market either range-bound or gradually grind up where every bears calling for major crash proven wrong, but returns also increasingly concentrate on the big cap and mega caps, while value and small caps remain unloved for a long time. Okay, well, here's where I got to pause to note. In terms of market dominance percentage, since we're talking about that in this video, it's always been the case that the larger coins, those would be the ones that have the greater dominance. That hasn't changed at all. And then the small caps are just the small caps, and the micro caps with way less than 1% of market share, market dominance. So that's actually not surprising, and that's not any different in a material way than it's ever been in crypto, actually. And then he says, similar things playing out would mean most alts are uninvestable, but some winners will deliver ground-shattering returns, and hopefully we get an NVIDIA-like outcome every few years, while most alts are going to disappoint. Okay, so fair enough point. That's why I'm interested in XRP, because utility matters and will win the day. That's at the core of my investment thesis. Ultimately, that matters more than the fact that, yes, in wild speculation, the market just moves in tandem. And even outside of wild speculation, it still moves in tandem. The same thing's true of the stock market, and that's always going to be the case because there is such a thing as liquidity cycles. So yes, there are individual coins and companies in the stock market that can and do move up based independently on news. Of course, that's always possible. But when there's more money to be invested, it does get spread around more. That's why you're always going to see, to some degree, the asset class, whether you're talking about the stock market or crypto, it's always going to move in tandem. That is true, and I didn't sufficiently appreciate that when I jumped into crypto. But it is true. It's certainly true of the stock market. To think that's going to change doesn't make sense. Now, most alts, I still do think, since they do nothing, as the asset class matures, I still think pretty much all of them go to zero. I do still believe that. It's just not happening right this second. And it's also true that last market cycle, only about, like 20% of coins, knocked out their previous all-time high. So there certainly is that opportunity, but it's getting harder and harder to see those types of return. Like there's greater odds that you're not going to get one that's going to hit a new all-time high, but that might not matter for everybody. In fact, I don't think it does for a lot of people, because if you accumulated, for instance, during the bear market, you don't need a coin necessarily to hit a new all-time high in order for you to be sufficiently enticed to sell. So if you get a 5-10-fold increase, for a lot of people, that's going to be a lot. And if you do that enough times over and over again, you get a crazy amount of money. That's life-changing wealth for people. So it just kind of depends on what people's preferences are. But it is true. Most coins last market cycle, probably going to be true here too. Not going to hit a new all-time high. But that's why over the long haul, I keep going back to which coins are actually being used and solve real problems. And I think ultimately the market is going to send more money that way. That I do believe. I don't think it's sufficiently happening at this point, but that's because there's a lot of confusion. There's too much data. Now, the market will sort that out over time, but I just think it doesn't happen overnight. And in terms of real utility, it's not clear which cryptocurrencies, broadly speaking, are really going to be around for decades, because for decades they'll be solving problems. It's too early on to know that type of thing. So that's why we're looking at what we're looking at. And so even 6 years ago when I jumped into crypto, and then I quickly got in that 2018 bear market, there are all sorts of people saying, yeah, well, we needed this bear market because it's time to flush out all these altcoins and then just have the stuff that's useful stick around. And I remember, and this is 6 years ago, I'm like, guys, I don't know if that's true. It looks to me like these coins aren't going to zero. Here we are 6 years later, and not only did they not go to zero, we have like 10 times the number of coins. So we had somewhere, I think, close to maybe it was like 2,000 coins 6 years ago, and now there's over 20,000. So it was the exact opposite direction of what people were expecting, actually. And then he said, or did I get this? Oh, no, I covered that. Yeah, so then let's go on to this last piece now, and this is just for fun. Hackers take over rapper 50 Cent's his X account to steal over $3 million in crypto. And that's right, 50 Cent named himself after the price of XRP, which is never changing. A bad actor has reportedly hacked into rapper 50 Cent's X account and stolen millions of dollars worth of crypto after promoting a pump and dump scheme. According to a new report by Fox Business, the rap artist says that his social media account was hacked by a scammer who made away with $3 million in under an hour. 50 Cent says that the fraudster used his account, which has 12.9 million followers, to promote a crypto token known as G-Unit, G-Unit, a reference to the popular hip-hop group he co-founded, causing an unknown amount of investors to purchase it. However, the token ended up being a pump and dump scheme where a fraudster created a new coin and used the rapper's large social media following to inflate its price before selling all holdings. In a recent post on Instagram, 50 Cent notified his fans that his X account, as well as his website, were compromised, and also noted that he has no association with the G-Unit token. So it's interesting. This is quite the undertaking, because once you get into one of the accounts, that starts the timer for when it's going to be noticed, right? Once you start changing something. So you'd have to start changing the website as well as his X account right at the exact same time as closely as possible, because it's only going to be running for a very short period of time, which was the case here. But it turns out even a small amount of time is enough time to get millions of dollars, especially when you're promoting the scam to 12.9 million followers on X. So there's definitely that. And that's why, in recent days too, I saw people talking about, is 50 Cent scamming people? Before I heard the whole story, I was like, 50 Cent scamming people? It's like, yeah, I was deleting a bunch of posts about this crypto coin on X. I was like, he had a crypto coin? What? And so I was a little skeptical of that. That's my starting point about anything in life, just that of a skeptic. So I was like, okay, what's going on? But anyway, here's a quote from 50 Cent, named after XRP. My X and thisiS50.com was hacked. I have no association with this crypto. X worked quickly to lock my account back down. Whoever did this made $3 million in 30 minutes, end quote. Whew. My God, $3 million in 30 minutes. I hope they catch these people and end up in prison. That's what I would like to see. That would be absolutely fantastic. As my grandpappy used to say, people are no damn good. Well, that's sage wisdom, grandpappy, sage wisdom. According to the decentralized exchange data aggregating platform DexScreener, G-Unit is trading for 0.0001245 at the time of writing, with a market cap of $124,000. Womp womp. Oh man, I'll tell you, this is a prime example of why I have no interest in getting into like the memes and the micro cap coins. I have like about 0% interest, and nothing against any of you who are willing to delve into the extra risky stuff. But the question of rug pull this or that, it's outside of my personal risk profile. I'm also not a gambler in life. Like I'm anti-gambling for myself. I wouldn't want to impose that on anybody. I don't want it for myself. It's amazing to me that humans are so absurd that like, casinos exist. Like they're making money. Clearly, you're the one losing money, but you keep putting money in a slot machine. Like the whole thing. It's amazing to me that it's very clear that's the case, but still these things are profitable. Anyway, I'm not that type though. I'm just I'll say this. For a person in crypto, I'm pretty conservative from an investment perspective. For someone being in crypto. Now, you have to have a certain risk tolerance to be in crypto, period, especially if you jumped in when I did in 2017. So it's, but mind you, it's a calculated risk in my estimation here. So it's not like I don't have any of that, but there is such a point that even for me, and this should be true of anybody, there is such a thing as too far. And for me, if you're talking about microcaps and then chasing into stuff that started pumping, I'm not going to be doing that. I really hope they catch these people. They need to be in prison. It's just awful. I'm not a financial advisor. You should not buy or sell anything because of anything I say or write. That would be a very, very, very bad idea. Until next time, to the moon, Lambo.